Lucy Kibaki was widely known as a firm, uncompromising First Lady who never shied away from confrontation. In 2007, during a Jamhuri Day dinner at State House, she reacted angrily when the Master of Ceremonies mistakenly introduced her as Lucy Wambui, a name closely associated with long-standing rumors that President Mwai Kibaki had another wife. Offended by the implication, she slapped the MC, an incident that quickly became public knowledge and reinforced her reputation for intolerance toward anything she perceived as disrespectful to her marriage. The situation escalated further in March 2009 as persistent speculation about a second wife continued to circulate in the media. Determined to end the rumors once and for all, Lucy pressured her husband into holding a live televised press conference. During the broadcast, President Kibaki made a now famous declaration stating plainly, "I am married and I have only one wife, and her name is Lucy." The moment was unprecedented and cemented Lucy's image as a fiercely protective spouse. Her assertive approach extended into the daily operations of State House. Shortly after settling in, she ordered the closure of a bar that had been frequented by ministers and political allies, signaling that she would not tolerate activities she disapproved of within the presidential residence. In another widely reported episode, she confronted her neighbor, Mokhtar Diop, then a World Bank official, late at night over loud music from a private party, demanding that the noise be reduced. In 2005, Lucy Kibaki made headlines again when she stormed the Nation Media Group offices at midnight following unfavorable coverage of a dispute she had with a neighbor. She remained at the premises for several hours, insisting on accountability from journalists over the reporting. During the same confrontation, she slapped KTN cameraman Clifford Derrick for filming her. The incident led to an assault case being filed against her, though it was later dismissed by the courts. She was also accused of slapping former MP Gitobu Imanyara at State House, reportedly because of his role in legal proceedings connected to the assault case involving the cameraman. These incidents collectively fueled public debate about her temperament and influence within the presidency. Beyond the controversies, Lucy Kibaki was deeply involved in social advocacy, particularly in areas related to health and youth empowerment, using her position as First Lady to support various initiatives. Lucy Kibaki died on April 26, 2016, at Bupa Cromwell Hospital in London, after being unwell for approximately a month. Medical reports revealed that she suffered from a heart condition and had been flown to the United Kingdom to be fitted with a permanent pacemaker to regulate abnormal heart rhythms.
So, who was Lucy Kibaki? She was a woman of strong convictions, unwavering loyalty, and a forceful public presence. This is her story. Lucy Muthoni Kibaki, Kenya's former First Lady, was one of the most complex and formidable figures in the country's modern political history. She was born on January 13, 1936, in Mukurweini, Nyeri County, though some historical sources place her birth year in 1940. Raised in the heart of central Kenya, Lucy grew up in a disciplined Christian household that shaped her strong will, moral convictions, and lifelong insistence on respect and order. She was the daughter of Reverend John Kagai, a respected pastor of the Presbyterian Church of East Africa, PCEA, and Rose Nichomba, also known as Rosa Chomba. Although little is publicly documented about her siblings, Lucy was firmly rooted in the Kagai family of Nyeri, where faith, education, and personal discipline were emphasized from an early age. Lucy began her formal education in Nyeri before earning admission to the prestigious Alliance Girls High School, one of Kenya's most elite institutions. After completing secondary school, she trained as a teacher, embarking on a professional path that would define her early adult life. She taught at Kamwenja Teachers Training College and later served at Kangaroo Girls High School. Her career later took her to Kambui College in Kiambu, now Kambui Girls, where she specialized in training P1 teachers. Through diligence and administrative skill, she rose steadily through the ranks, eventually becoming principal of Kiambu Teachers Training College, a remarkable achievement for a woman of her era. In 1959, Mwai Kibaki met Lucy Kibaki, then an economics lecturer at Makerere University in Uganda. Their relationship developed during a formative period in Kenya's political awakening, and they married in 1961, with some accounts citing 1962. In 1963, at the height of her academic career, Lucy made a defining personal decision. She retired from formal employment to focus on raising her family and supporting her husband as he transitioned into full-time politics. This marked a turning point in her life, shifting her role from educator and administrator to political spouse and family matriarch. Together, Mwai Kibaki and Lucy had 4 children: Judy Wanjiku, their only daughter; Jimmy Kibaki, their eldest son; David Kagai, named after Lucy's father; and Tony Gifinji, youngest. She was widely known as a devoted mother and a fiercely protective guardian of her family, a trait that later became one of her most publicly visible characteristics. When Mwai Kibaki became president of Kenya in 2002, Lucy Kibaki assumed the role of First Lady, a position she held until 2013.
Her tenure was marked by intense visibility, strong opinions, and a refusal to conform to the traditionally ceremonial expectations of the office. She carved out her own path, becoming deeply involved in social advocacy, particularly in health and youth empowerment. One of her most significant contributions was in the fight against HIV/AIDS. She served as chairperson of the Organization of African First Ladies Against HIV/AIDS, OAFLA, using her position to champion awareness, prevention, and care across the continent. She is also credited with the establishment of Mama Lucy Kibaki Hospital in Nairobi, a major public healthcare facility designed to provide affordable and accessible medical services to ordinary Kenyans. In education and youth development, she supported initiatives such as the Starehe Girls Center, acted as patron of the Kenya Girl Guides Association, and backed cultural institutions, including the Kenya State House Choir. Throughout her public life, she consistently advocated for women's empowerment and the protection of the girl child. Lucy Kibaki's public image, however, was as controversial as it was influential. She was widely described as no-nonsense, fiercely defensive, and unafraid of confrontation. She openly positioned herself as the protector of her husband's integrity and the presidency itself. This reputation was reinforced by several high-profile incidents that drew intense media scrutiny. In 2005, she stormed the Nation Media Group offices at midnight after unfavorable reporting about a dispute with a neighbor, remaining there for several hours and demanding accountability from journalists. During the same incident, she slapped KTN cameraman Clifford Derrick for filming her, leading to an assault case that was later dismissed. In 2007, she slapped the State House Master of Ceremonies during a Jamhuri Day dinner after he mistakenly introduced her as Lucy Wambui, a name linked to rumors of a second wife. Former MP Gitobu Imanyara also alleged she slapped him at State House over his involvement in legal action against her. She was further reported to have clashed with State House Comptroller Matere Keriri, a disagreement that ultimately led to his replacement. Perhaps the most famous moment of her public life came in March 2009, amid persistent rumors that President Kibaki had another wife. Lucy compelled her husband to hold a live televised press conference during which he declared, "I am married and I have only one wife and her name is Lucy." The moment became iconic, cementing her reputation as an unyielding defender of her marriage and family. Within State House, she was also said to exert firm control over protocol and environment. Shortly after moving in, she reportedly ordered the closure of a bar used by ministers and political allies.
In another widely reported incident, she confronted her neighbor, World Bank official Mokhtar Diop, late at night over noise from a private party. Beyond public life, Lucy Kibaki accumulated a substantial personal estate. At the time of her death in 2016, her assets were valued at approximately Kenya shillings 200 million. Her estate included significant company shares, notably in Barclays Bank Kenya Limited, now Absa Bank Kenya, high-value real estate in Yali, Mombasa, and considerable cash holdings in local banks. In 2020, her family successfully recovered idle assets through the Unclaimed Financial Assets Authority, UFAA, including funds held by Cooperative Bank. She died intestate, and the High Court appointed Mwai Kibaki and their children to manage her estate. Although her personal wealth was clearly documented, it formed only a portion of the broader Kibaki family holdings. She shared residence in high-profile properties, including a Muthaiga home in Nairobi, estimated at hundreds of millions of shillings, and the family's Othaya rural home, where she was eventually laid to rest. A government-built retirement mansion in Mwega, Nyeri, valued at approximately Kenya shillings 400 million, was completed shortly after her death and was never occupied by her. As of 2026, legal disputes over Mwai Kibaki's larger estate, valued by some claimants at billions of shillings, remain ongoing. Lucy Kibaki passed away on April 26, 2016, at Bupa Cromwell Hospital in London after being unwell for about a month. Medical reports indicated she suffered from a heart ailment and had been flown to the United Kingdom to receive a permanent pacemaker to correct abnormal heart rhythms. Prior to her transfer, she had been briefly admitted to Nairobi Hospital with chest pains and a dangerously low heart rate. Her death was ultimately attributed to complications related to her heart condition, with some sources citing a heart attack following prolonged ill health. In life and in death, Lucy Kibaki remained a polarizing but unforgettable figure, an accomplished educator, a fiercely loyal wife, a formidable first lady, and a woman who refused to be silent or sidelined. Her legacy continues to spark debate, reflection, and discussion within Kenya's political and social history.